flight, I realized my return flight was not direct. But when I woke up this morning, prepared to travel today, I did not realize this flight home had a layover. And so, anyway, I've got about 45 minutes to kill. And I got nothing better to do than to do a late night chat, you guys. It's about 10 o'clock. I guess I've gone live later than this before. This isn't the latest I've ever gone live. But it is the latest I've ever gone live without something specific to talk about. And I found the most secluded portion of the airport that I could find so that I don't just look like some weirdo talking to my phone. But that's what I am, really. I'm not talking to my phone, I'm talking to you guys. Hey, everyone. Hey, Marilyn. Hey, Lissy. Actually, Marilyn, Lissy got in there a little bit before you. Hey, Kat. Hey, Christy. Hey, Julia. Hey, Cheeky. Hey, Nikki. Yeah. So, I don't normally go live without anything to talk about, but it feels like there is an awful lot to talk about. So, if you guys got, yeah, I'm at a layover just for about 45 minutes before we board the next short hop home. Yeah. Hey, wise mama. Hey, Chris. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Sierra. Hey, Mark. I saw your email, Mark. Max's mom. Good to see you. Karen. Good to see you. Okay, was it Kat says, can you at least tell me if you are interested in knowing what I know about Grant? Oh, Kat, I'm sorry. The answer is yes. It's just, for all the videos that I do about Grant, he's not really my favorite thing to do videos about. But yes, please shoot me another email so it's at the top of my list. And then when I see your email, I will put responding to you at the top of my to-do list. And I'll try to call you tomorrow. I'm going to be getting home pretty late tonight, and I already have a pre-recorded interview scheduled for tomorrow at noon. And I think everyone who I've promised to call back over the last 3 days, I've told them I'm going to call them back tomorrow. So let's make it all happen. We'll squeeze it all in. Just shoot me an email and we will chat. It's not Columbus. I think you're asking about my layover. I feel like I shouldn't tell people what airport I'm in. Not that it really matters, but. Hey, Coffee First. Hey, Dave. How you doing? Matt Elliott. Good to see you. Mark Hardman. How you doing? And C.O. Belf. Good to see you. Yeah, God. I mean, it feels like so much happened in a couple days, right? It feels like so much happened, and such explosive stuff too, right? Have you guys seen the I don't even really want to talk about him because it seems like he's just begging me to. But hey, Tina. But anyway, the Zero Dark Tony stuff, I'm sure you guys don't. I mean, even when I do videos about Zero Dark Tony, most people are like, who are you talking about? Why are we talking about this? So I'm sure you guys aren't following his Twitter account or his Rumble or anything. But honestly, the stuff that he's posting makes me think that this is not an act. This is not an act. This guy is like seriously mentally unwell. Because all of these unforced errors, I mean, the prosecutors are going to nuke this guy. Now I know saying shit about me doesn't violate the protection order that's in place against him. But it establishes an unbelievable pattern of behavior. I mean, he's making. I realize I'm kind of like what I said. Anyone watching isn't going to know what the hell I'm talking about. So Zero Dark Tony is this absolute lunatic who's been, going after everyone in the ex-Scientology YouTube space for the last year or two, and then he started going after the anti-Scientology protesters, and then for some reason he just started going after one of the protesters who's a minor, a young 17-year-old guy named Solomon. And he went after him so persistently and disgustingly. By the way, I'm holding this really close so that I can talk quietly and you guys can hear me okay. That they managed to get a restraining order against him. And then when they got a restraining order against him, he doubled down. And he did even more, and he got more disgusting and more gross and more vile and more graphic and vulgar. And so the city. Oh, by the way, before someone had asked me, was the prosecutor in court, the city attorney or the district attorney, because the city attorney is for misdemeanors and the district attorney is for felonies. It was, in fact, the city attorney, but his case has also been referred to the district attorney for felonies. Okay? And so the prosecutor basically hit him with like 26 or 28 counts of violating his restraining orders, and these are all charges against a minor. And so anyway, as you guys know, my trip to LA was not to go to his arraignment, but I was like, if I'm in town, I can't not go to this arraignment. And so then the city attorney shows up and asks for his bail to be raised to $500,000 and for him to be taken back into custody immediately. Anyway, the judge decided not to do that, but set a hearing for next week and said if Tony so much as says Solomon's name or his mother's name in any of his videos or on Reddit or on Facebook or on Twitter or on Twitch or anything, that when he shows up for his hearing on March 4th, he's going to be taken into custody and $500,000 bail set. And they said, and if you don't show up for your hearing on March 4th, we're going to issue a warrant for your arrest, $500,000 bail set. So anyway, needless to say, as soon as court was out, I gave him an interview that he did not ask for, but that I was more than willing to provide, where I asked questions and he responded with insults. And at one point, as he was hiding in the courthouse trying to get away from me, you're not allowed to film in the courthouse. And I started live streaming as soon as I got out of the elevator, thinking that we were going to head right for the exits. But then he started playing cat and mouse with me. And all of a sudden, I'm doing something I shouldn't have been doing, which is live streaming in the courthouse. So the deputy was like, hey, can't live stream in the courthouse, please exit. And I was like, I had no choice at that point. I had to exit while Tony was in there hiding. I do see your super chat. Brody says, hey, run respectfully. You've been too nice to your toxic detractors, and it's nice to see you holding your ground and giving pushback. I appreciate it. The only reason I control myself or hold back as much as I do, it's not for my sake. It's honestly for the sake of my channel. I know that my viewers aren't looking for this to be some sort of my viewers tune in for Scientology videos. They don't tune in for reality TV drama bullshit. If I was just doing what I wanted to do, I'd be going ham on all these motherfuckers. I'd be going ham on all these motherfuckers. But I don't. I do want people to take my videos seriously, and that's honestly why I restrain. Okay, where was I? So I had to exit the courthouse. Tony exited the other side of the courthouse. There's 2 exits. I sprinted. I was running in boots and jeans, sprinted to the other side of the courthouse. And Tony and his mommy, who apparently is a scam artist herself. His mom is, you want to know the tree that fruit fell from. Apparently his mom's a total scam artist. They had exited the courthouse. They saw me coming. They headed back into the courthouse. I got to the door right about the time that Tony was getting into the door. And I said, oh, is Eric in the chat? Hey, Eric. How you doing? Hey, Cody. I see you there. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Julie, if I hadn't said hi yet. Okay. I'm trying to make a long story short. I said, hey, Tony, how does it feel to have the prosecutor call you and I used a word. And then all of a sudden his mom whacked me with her cane. Whack! Get out of here. Leave us alone. And then she walked into the courthouse. Now, at that point, she now claims that she whacked me with her cane because I had physically attacked her first. Right? Anybody watching the video knows that did not happen. There's video cameras all over the place. So Tony jumps on Twitter. He's like, my mom had a heart attack from the stress. She broke her kneecap from the attack and might have also broken her clavicle. And we're pressing charges. And we're adding Jenna to the lawsuit or whatever. Well, a lawsuit is different than charges. We're adding Dodge. We're adding Eric LeVay because Eric LeVay was there. And I see people. I'm seeing all the chatter online, and it seems like some people are taking this seriously. Not that people think I seriously did it, but that it's some sort of a serious threat from Tony. Guys, this isn't a serious threat from Tony. This is performance art, if you want to call it that. I mean, this is there. You cannot look, even the worst lawyer in the world. Because first of all, I guess sometimes he talks about a lawsuit, sometimes he talks about charges. Even the worst lawyer in the world, before filing a lawsuit, is going to say, "Okay, I need to see some evidence." I mean, you guys who know a little bit more about this than I do, is there any lawyer in the world who could file a lawsuit for a claim that not only 100% didn't happen, but can easily be proven 100% didn't happen? I mean, there is such a thing. Like, couldn't a lawyer be actually sanctioned for doing something like that? I just wanted to say, I'm not taking it as a serious threat. I don't think anyone else should be taking it as a serious threat. It's literally like comedy. It's performance art slash mental illness. It's like a performance art mental illness ham sandwich, except the ham sandwich actually tastes good. Next court date, Tom Space, is March 4th. I don't think I'm going to be coming back to LA just for another arraignment, but I hope a lot of people do because this is what I wanted to say. Here's the one question that should have been clarified with the judge, because the judge made it clear. She said, listen, I'm going to give my order, I'm going to give my direction, and I'm going to be as clear as I can. But if there's any questions after I finish speaking, you better ask, because any violation of my order is going to result in you being remanded in custody and $500,000 bail. Here's what never got clarified. Tony's not allowed to say their names, but is his chat allowed to say their names? That should have been clarified, because the judge may or may not have any way of knowing that you are using your platform to harass someone if you're letting the person be harassed in your chat. In my opinion, as someone who has a lot of experience in the space, I control my chat very strongly. I have many banned words in my chat. If there's someone I do not want to get dragged in my chat, I just put their name as a blocked word. So, like, it should have been specified in the order, but it wasn't because nobody asked this question. It should have been specified in the order if Tony was required to enter Solomon and Solomon's mother's name, and I don't know her name, as blocked words in his chat. Why am I saying this? Because they're already getting dragged in the chat, and I think that's a violation of the order. And Tony's probably sitting there comfortable thinking that it's not. But Tony, you know that nobody is happier than I am at the idea of you violating your protection order. Yeah, that's right. Tony Robert D'Amato Jr. has an order of protection preventing him from molesting children on the internet. Molesting has more than one definition, folks. Here in Florida, when you go to the state parks, there are signs that say, please do not molest the alligators. Okay? Per that definition, Tony is molesting children on the internet. And, yeah, so, not a good look. Not a good look to be known as an internet child molester. You know what I'm saying? I probably said that word too many times. I'm sure the whole stream got demonetized, but that's okay. So, guys, even if only for entertainment purposes, and I don't know, I know nobody cares about this stuff outside of a handful of people. Like, honestly, if you just want some late night comedy relief and you want to see some purely trash performance art, just go check out one of Zero Dark Tony's live streams on either YouTube or I don't know what people keep saying he's on Rumble. Why would anybody be on Rumble? There's nobody on Rumble. And I don't think he's been kicked off of YouTube. So why isn't he on YouTube? Is he kicked off of YouTube? Hey, Coffee first. Oh, I already said. Okay, my point is this. Wherever he streams, sometimes he streams on YouTube, sometimes he streams on Rumble. And it might actually be helpful. Because I'm telling you guys to do it if you want some comedy relief. I actually never spend any time doing it myself. People send me screenshots of this stuff. I would love to know that as many people as possible are taking screenshots of people violating the order of protection against Solomon and his mother in Tony's live streams. Why? Because I want to see this guy go to jail. I want to see this guy get a bail so high nobody could post it. We still don't know for sure who posted Tony's bail. Now it did get reduced from 130,000 down to 50,000, and you know you only have to put up 10% when you post bail. So like, but Tony can't put his hands on $5,000. Remember when Tony was trying to fly that girl out to LA to see him? What was her name? What was the name of that girl Tony was trying to flew out to LA to see him, and then he borrowed like $10,000 from her? What was her name? I know some of you guys know it. Dana. Yeah, Dana. He had to fundraise for like 3 weeks to raise like $500 for her plane ticket. Tony can't put his hands on $5,000. And you'd think that if Tony's mom could put her hands on $5,000, that she would at least fronted him $500 for a plane ticket for Dana to come and see him. Evil Knievel, how did you know I was in Atlanta, Georgia? You son of a bitch. Oh, you're from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm at the Atlanta airport right now. You tricked me into telling you where I was. Yeah, so the Zero Dark Tony thing. The thing is, because I don't follow Tony on Twitter, I didn't even realize that he'd been like losing him to the extent. I didn't realize the extent to which he'd been absolutely losing his mind. And there's whole Reddit pages dedicated to Tony. There's whole Reddit pages. Is it here? I think Hero Like Cody runs a Reddit page dedicated to kind of documenting all of Zero Dark Tony's fraud and abuse. And I was scrolling it while I was on the flight today. And oh my God, I was laughing my ass off, man. Laughing my ass off. So the truth is, there's already plenty of people taking screenshots of all this stuff. So I don't know, guys. Knowing the likelihood that Tony's going to be taken into custody with $500,000 bail, and knowing that you can't record in the courtroom, I don't know if I can give up the opportunity to see that in person, to see him start crying like a baby while he's being handcuffed and dragged away to jail, and to see his mom. Do you think he'll bring his mom to the hearing again? Oh my God. Do you guys think he would be so stupid as to bring his mom to the hearing again? I mean, how could he? He already said she had a heart attack, broke her knee and her clavicle, and is sedated in the hospital. The hearing's on March 4th. That's in like a week. How's he going to bring... Is she going to bring her in a wheelchair and a full body cast? Oh, all right, there's more people starting to sit closer to me, so now I'm that weirdo talking to his phone. Yeah, Margie Barr, 8 days. He needs a driver. Does he not have a license? Does Tony not have a license? No, I remember I've seen him drive a motorcycle. I know he likes driving his little scooter, little electric scooter. Hey, George, good to see you. Yeah, he wheels her into the courthouse. He wheels her into the courtroom on a gurney with like an IV bag and like life support. He wheels in the whole kit. A nurse, a doctor. He's got a defibrillator on him. She goes into cardiac arrest right there in the hearing. Clear. Oh my goodness. Oh, Constance says, it sounds like he does not have a license due to the traumatic brain injury. Wow. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. But let's see. Sometimes it's hard to catch the questions in the live chat, but if I see questions, I'm happy to answer some questions. Let's see, the other thing. Well, I mean, the other thing is the obvious. I mean, let's just talk about SWAT Hochstetter. I don't know. I shouldn't even. But I'll tell you this. I've been very disappointed today to see who has actually been cheerleading and applauding Swati Hochstetter showing up to counter-protest. Jenna Miscavige, one of Danny Masterson's victims, me, Serge, Michael. I guess he'd probably say he wasn't there counter-protesting Serge and Michael because he's still trying to kiss Serge and Michael's ass. I think Scott knows that if Surgeon Michael openly come out against Scott, that he's done. I think it's safe to say that Laura's probably the reason that Serge sort of keeps his mouth shut about Scott. But I think Scott knows he's in very, very dangerous territory. I mean, not just dangerous. Scott's already he's crossed the line. He's crossed the line. He can't uncross. But when you guys see the, I mean, I saw Nora. I saw Nora in Swati's chat cheering him on. Now she seemed to stop cheering him on at one point and left the chat. But I'll tell you what she didn't do. She didn't say, "Hey Scott, this is disgusting. Hey Scott, what are you doing? Hey Scott, these are ex-Scientologists speaking to the LAPD commissioners about covering up child sex abuse in Scientology, and you're there counter protesting them. That's unacceptable to me." Nora didn't call him out. Nora didn't call him out. I saw a lot of the other protesters in there. I saw Miriam from Denmark. I saw Miriam in Denmark there applauding Scott Hochstetter for counter protesting ex-Scientologists. I saw T, Perth Scientology Audit, in there cheering Scott on as he counter-protested ex-Scientologists. Of course, I saw Scott's usual hangers-on. But you know, he keeps his live chat. He keeps his live chat up for replay, so you can rewatch his videos and see what absolute scumbags are in there cheering him on as he's showing up to intentionally make a scene while ex-Scientologists are trying to do activism against Scientology. Anyone who continues to support this guy, it's over. It's totally over. And you know, for those of you out there, what you might do is, because I got to tell you, I'm expressing my personal opinion here. I'm not like drawing a firm, and I only speak for myself, obviously. It's not okay to just say nothing. It's not okay to say nothing. This guy only even continues to exist in this community because of the tacit support of 2 or 3, maybe 4 people. And if those people think after what happened today, my hand's shaking, I gotta switch. Ugh. If those people really think that after what happened today, it's good enough just to say nothing, or, oh, we should pretend that Scott doesn't exist, or, oh, we should not get off message. Do you want to know why we've been off message for so long? Because of Swati Hochstetter and his enablers. And yeah, now you guys might have noticed that in my live stream today at the LA Police Commissioners meeting, I muted my live stream when Scott was talking because honestly, I just felt like the guy doesn't deserve my any airtime on my platform. But like Streets LA has his whole thing. I'm going to publish it. I'm going to take my live stream and Streets live stream, and I'm going to select the best clips with the best audio, and I'm going to compile it together into an easy to watch clip of all the speeches. And I'm going to show you guys the glee with which Scott walked up to that podium ready to counter protest ex-Scientologists, knowing that one of Danny Masterson's victims was right there as well, and how he was shouting at Jenna Miscavige. This is Scott Hochstetter. This is a guy who, almost a year ago had never even heard of Scientology, and now he thinks that he can come into our community, come into this movement, and counter protest second-gen ex-Scientologists who are putting their necks on the line to publicly take action against Scientology. Guys, silence is not acceptable, in my opinion. And it doesn't mean I'm declaring. See, I'm not doing what Scott's doing. I'm not saying it's unacceptable, and therefore I'm declaring war on anyone who doesn't do it my way. I'm expressing my personal opinion. To me, it is unacceptable. To me, I think it should be unacceptable to others. And if it is unacceptable to you, then this was going to be my advice. Just go into the live streams of whoever it is that you think is continuing to enable Scott by supporting him in ways and being silent in other ways. And just ask them, do you support what Scott did at the LAPD Commissioners meeting? Just ask them. Because here's how I feel about it. If they do support it, then they should be willing to say that publicly. And yeah, if someone supports that kind of shit, then stand by it and say, yes, I support it, and explain why you support it. And if you don't support it, but you're afraid to say that, that's a little bit of a problem, isn't it? It's amazing that one of the things that people say about me is I'm like the cult leader of this community and everyone's terrified to say anything against me. The evidence that that's not true is everybody says shit against me all the time. And what do I do in response? Nothing. Everyone's afraid. Everyone in Scott's orbit is afraid to say anything against Scott. Everyone in Nora's orbit is afraid to say anything against Nora. And Nora was one of the people cheering Scott on today. It's not totally clear to me whether, when Nora was cheering him on, whether she really knew what he was about to do or not. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, Nora thinks that it's okay to talk about me in her videos as long as she says, he who shall not be named. What is the point of having a rule of not speaking about me in your videos or allowing people to speak about me in your live chat if you're going to speak about me anyway while using another name? Isn't it the exact same thing? Nora, I'll speak to you directly, Nora. I would like to know if you think what Scott did today is acceptable. And if you don't think it's acceptable, then I'd like to know whether you're afraid to say that publicly. Because I know you're probably experiencing a whole lot of relief that Scott doesn't attack you anymore. Now that you've kissed his ass sufficiently, you're probably in a nice little protective bubble of not being insulted by Scott, Swatty Hochstetter. But after seeing what he did today to people you're supposed to have respect for, and even if he didn't show up to counter-protest Surge, what about making a total mockery of what we were doing, something that Surge was a part of and cared very much about, and thinks that, what we did there was very, very important. And, you know what Scott could have done? Scott could have got up after hearing everything that we had to say, and he could have got up and he could have said some words about Laura and about his girlfriend. I mean, he already uses Laura as a human shield, right? Every time he screams at Seerg members, it's because of his girlfriend, Laura, right? So he could have gotten up there and he could have said everything these people had to say was true. And my girlfriend's also an ex-Seerg member, child Scientology Seerg slave. And she, too, was abused in this way or that way. And everything that she's told me is horrific. He could have done there. He could have stood up there and said something like that. And instead, what he did was insult me, insult Streets. He actually insulted all ex-Scientologists. That's what Swatty Hochstetter did today. And I just don't know how Laura can continue to stand by that. I don't know how Nora can continue to stand by that. And the sooner Scott is actually out of this community, the better. Because I'll tell you what's really going to happen. When Scott's actually gone, when Scott's finally gone, we're going to rebuild the protest movement from the ground up. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again the right way. And we're going to do it without toxic people like Scott Swatty Hochstetter. That's what we're going to do. You have my word on that. That's what Streets told me he wants to do. And you guys know, Streets is the one who started the fucking movement. Streets started the live streaming protest movement. Okay? We're going to do it again. I'm going to do everything I can to help and support without a toxic, bucket-shitting piece of shit like Scott Swatty Hochstetter. His day is done. The time has come. He needs to go. He showed his true colors today. Anybody who continues to support him, there's no excuse. There's no justification. Yeah, guys. Bright skies ahead. It's funny because at first I was just so pissed off. I was just so pissed off today about what he did and what it meant. And after talking to some other people about it, I was like, you know what? No, I'm really glad it happened. I'm really glad it happened. Because first of all, what he did had no impact on what we were trying to accomplish. We accomplished our goal anyway. And he provided everyone an opportunity to see what he's really made of, and what he really stands for. And that there's literally no level to which he will not stoop. And there's literally nothing he will not make about himself. He does not care about the movement. He does not care about ex-Scientologists. First gen, second gen, third gen, doesn't matter. He does not care about holding Scientology accountable. And all he did was go right from that meeting over to L. Ron Hubbard Way and scream at a bunch of Scientologists to get back into the buildings. That's not protesting, guys. That's not protesting. Screaming at Scientologists to get back into their buildings is not activism. It's not protesting. It's bullshit. And it's time to get rid of the fucking bullshit. So thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott, for showing everyone that you will bring your absolute worst when people are doing their absolute best. Thank you, SWAT Hochstetter. You did us all a big favor. I've heard some people say that now that he's facing these charges, he actually can't leave town. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's true. Is Streets in here? Hold on. There he is. How you doing, Streets? Good to see you. Yeah. I'll tell you, I mean, Streets is the one that we've been coordinating with on this, what we did today for a while now. And I don't know how many people understand that Streets is not just a Scientology streamer. I don't know how many people in the Scientology community understand just how well known and respected Streets is in the LA area and how seriously he's taken. I do not mind telling you that even media that were in talks with us about the right way to do this actually asked us if Streets would be there because they wanted him there. And we're like, of course he's going to be there. And he was there. And you know, thank you, Streets, for being there. And thank you for, honestly, what you've been doing to show the world and tell the world who the fuck Scott Hochstetter is and that he's got to get the fuck out of here. Okay. Yep. Bucket Shitter's new name for Swatty Scotty. Okay, the plane is boarding. I don't know what my zone is, but I gotta go. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. This truly is my last one for the night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.